Here we are once again. Here we are, just who we are. We're going to be reading once again from our book here called The Seeker's Journal by Om Prakash Gilmore. This is a book that talks about some strange things, but it also helps all of us to move out of the box. What box am I talking about us moving out of? The box called material science. The type of belief system that says that nothing exists that cannot be seen or measured by the scientific community. The right part of the scientific community. The ones with the degrees in science who get all the grants and who get their research paid for by big corporations. The ones who told us that our ancestors were stupid, their religious beliefs were stupid, that any type of mysticism or connection with a higher being was stupid, and that we cannot experience anything in our hearts and minds that is true without having to go to a scientist to clarify that it's the truth. And so this journal is about a journey into seeking the truth. So we're going to pick up where we left off at journal entry number 26. We finished journal entry number 25. You can find all of those entries on our YouTube channel here. And I'll be reading from the book this time. Right now, in real time, if I make any mistakes, I'm going to keep going because I don't care. Making things like a studio, beautiful videos that look like something made by Paramount Pictures is only another way of keeping the average person from coming on here, keeping them quiet, making it so no one will listen to them, so that only the people with a lot of cash and money and expertise will be able to present YouTube videos that will be listened to. The same plot over and over again happens, where you have things that are available to everyone, and they slowly get honed down and narrow until only people with a lot of money and power are able to present on them. I don't care. I come to this world to break that apart. So this is a life, friends. Chapter or journal entry 26. Everything is available to us now. Everything that exists started as an idea and then a vibration. The vibration is still spreading, manifested in the ever-growing and ever-separating universe in which we live. There is only sound and light. The universe that we think of as solid is no different. It is not solid versus energy. It is all energy, and on many levels for different beings, it is all solid. We are at the center of it all, and we are all of it. All of our gods, our goddesses, our philosophies and symbols, the things we are attracted to, especially gods and goddesses, are just tentacles or lines of expression that lead from our psyches back to the center of the universe. More than that, the center of reality, which we know as I am. Some people call this God, some goddess, some the gods, some the reason for being, but they are all our understanding of that which is greater than ourselves. Even the ultimate, most high God that people speak of isn't. Because the ultimate, most high God cannot be perceived or spoken of by human beings. This is the concept of something that is just a stepping stone to the ultimate truth. There is a greater understanding, a communication beyond words, symbols, and concepts that we can hook into and understand as truth. The truth manifests itself in many ways, But as soon as it is spoken, it is diminished. It is changed. It is stepped down from its originality to something familiar to that which we have seen and heard. That is why we need to remain in silence when we have our real encounters with the divine. During this journey and my seeking, I have come in contact with this energy, being, whatever you want to call it, many times. Images of gods, goddesses, angels, and demons have driven me to the place of silence and a pure type of experience that has filled my soul to bursting. The journey has changed along the path. The realization of what I seek has become more clear. I am not seeking the ability to move from one timeline to the next, or one dimension to the next. I am seeking a way on this earth to explain what I know completely and what I have experienced in the least diminished way. I seek a deeper understanding that will satisfy my dualistic brain while still keeping that which is intact as it is, because I already know everything I'm seeking and have already found it. Entry number 27. A new character arrives. Actually, an old one returns in the morning. I say my prayers, meditate, chant, do ho'oponopono and qigong before going to sleep. I was led into some place that was beyond my comprehension by a being who will only say she is a friend. I looked upon strange swirling masses and walked through caves to explore a totally alien world. As I did so and began to look upon creatures and structures I have never seen before, a high-pitched sound entered my ears, attempting to pull me away. She told me to hold on and to keep observing because my mind and imagination was expanding, so I could observe more things. My ego mind was becoming multidimensional. The natural inclination of the rest of my mind was to shift to becoming total awareness, and so I observed until I was sucked away into a state of non-being where I couldn't focus on it anymore. It seemed that I was everywhere and totally free. A total feeling of peace and bliss ran through all of my body. It was a very pleasurable sensation. This took place for I don't know how long, and then when I could focus, I went back to observing unfamiliar scenes and alien faces in strange cities, living their lives as we live ours. Eventually I went to sleep and awakened with a sense of awe. By then my familiar goddess figure had returned, the other had left. It is the other half of myself, the goddess that I have been dealing with more than 25 years. The other was from another line of beings. We had reached the moment in linear time when these two lines were crossing and were beginning to merge into one line. I was the member of the line of my goddesses, and the friend was a member of the guardian line. I was having my adventure here on Earth. I had done the work with the help of my guides and my other self, in an advanced state to awaken to who and what I am. It was good to see her again. She is, in reality, my other half. One half of the highly advanced being goes to the material plane. One remains in the spiritual realm to help and comfort the part making the journey if they can connect with that person. Due to material science and a worldview that comes directly from it, that says that all that exists must be measurable or cleared by the scientists, sometimes that connection never happens. But there are always chosen turning points where it can. These are the same points where new timelines will be created, more accurately, where we can change timelines if we would like. Fortunately for me, through many danger, toils, and snares, I came into contact with that part of myself and chose to pursue it and see what would happen. instead of listening to the material science or fundamentalist religions and thinking it wasn't real. My understanding of the way things work is that one being goes down into some material experience. Their other half is the partner or comforter. When they are paired with two beings from a familiar but separate line who serve as guardians, they work with the traveling soul in a more dispassionate way, so they are more able to do what is best for that soul, no matter how painful. I have begun to become more familiar with the guardian line, meeting them and interacting with them one at a time. They won't tell me their names because they don't want to become that familiar, I guess. Their personalities are quite different from my other half, but easy to get used to. As they become satisfied that I know them and that they know me, they are reincorporated into my psyche or my archetypal structure, and I move on to the next one. This is either a great spiritual exploration of the makeup of the universe beyond our limited understandings, or a great example of do-it-yourself psychosynthesis. Either way, it is valid. And if we are working with a collective conscience that is tied into the universe, there is no difference between what is happening on the inside and on the outside. We'll read one more entry. But this is very interesting. An interesting thought and idea that what is happening on the outside is not different from the inside. And especially this. That all of these thoughts, all of these ideas of different gods and goddesses, all of these archetypes are actually part of our own larger universal mind that often exists in what they call the subconscious or the collective conscious or collective subconscious, and the person who is adept like an artist can really tap in to these things and begin to understand the nature of reality and the nature of the world, and can articulate the unspeakable, that which is beyond thought and comprehension, using the ideas of these words and ideas of these symbols in order to bring about a understanding that all of us as beings living here on earth and probably somewhere else at the same time will begin to understand, to see, so that we can expand and bring our divine selves here onto earth. It's hard to do that, though, because everybody in the world is telling us that it's impossible, or they're saying that we should be seeing the things they're seeing, or we shouldn't be seeing anything. We should be connecting the way they're connecting, or we shouldn't be connecting at all. And as they put us in this box, you see, the universe presents itself to us in several different ways to try to awaken us and let us experience our own power, beauty, and wisdom. But often we fight that. We ignore it because we're protecting this shell that has been put around us by small-minded people who are in charge of most of the major institutions and countries in this world. My little commentary. The last entry I'll read is journal entry number 28. If you want to learn more about what we're doing, you can visit our website. I'll have a link below, and you can also find other journey entry readings. That's journey entry readings at my website here on my channel. So, journal entry number 28. Nothing miraculous happened last night or this morning. Yet again, for some of the things I am talking about may seem miraculous. This morning my guide wanted to lead me, which was very different than usual, because she insisted on leading me to places that wouldn't resemble anything I had ever seen, to stretch my ego and make its boundary permeable. At first I stood on the deck of a large aircraft carrier with a storm and raging waves slapping against the ship. At the same time, while it was raining, the moon was up, standing clear out there in the night as if it was not raining. It brought back memories of a place where that could happen. Perhaps a previous life, but I just couldn't remember. I was on the verge of experiencing a totally different life in a totally different ancient existence, but I just couldn't pull through. I was living on a planet bathed in blue light. Everything was blue all the time, so the color blue per se didn't really exist. It was just the natural background. The water would rise up from the earth and cause very low clouds before it rained back down, allowing one to look up at a clear sky even when it was raining, and the sun was muted and barely visible through the clouds. It looked more like the moon. It was always shining night and day. That is what I feel and remember about this place. During that moment, however, I was almost really there. I couldn't grasp a full memory of the place. From here, we moved somewhere else. We moved to a world of ice and snow. It was not on this earth. We made our way through the wind and freezing snow into a cave that was very deep. There was a swirling mass of mist and several people there. From there, we quickly came to a UFO. It was as if we bumped into a barrier. We pushed through and examined the inside. I actually saw people and creatures inside that looked nothing like I had ever seen. The night was jumping from one place to the next, with one more bizarre than the next. I could feel my body reacting and my brain reacting as if it was trying to shut down or send my consciousness off somewhere else because it could not register what was happening. Then I would go into a deep sleep. The whole night consisted of events like that and conversations with my guide. It is all beginning to seem a bit routine to me. I don't think I am going any further, but according to them, I am, though more slowly than I would like. I will continue to jump timelines to understand if it is possible for the consciousness to actually exist in another time and place as a person and then return to this one. I am having my doubts, but I will continue to try until my patience has run its course and I find it impossible. The end of the reading for today. Thanks for being with us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you want to hear more readings and things from us, be sure to really search and look them up. I think we are being shadow banned, so that a lot of the people who have subscribed are not getting any notifications about where we are. But we are here, and we'll stay here, and we'll be here well into the future. Namaste, everyone.